Hello and welcome. My name is Natalie from the Institutional Banking team in Australia, and thank you for joining me for this Accounts in ANZ Transactive Global training webinar. Before I begin, I would like to acknowledge that I'm joining you from Perth, Western Australia, the lands of the Whadjuk people of the Noongar Nation. I also acknowledge the traditional owners of the various lands in which you are joining from today. I pay my respects to elders past and present and to any Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples joining us today. This webinar is a training session intended to primarily support our ANZ Transactive Cash Asia customers with the upgrade to ANZ Transactive Global, our digital channel currently used by customers in Australia, New Zealand, and China. It is a powerful and intuitive tool that will simplify and enhance your banking experience across the ANZ markets you operate in. ANZ has a continual focus on investment in modern technology and uplifting our customer experience, and your organisation will benefit by accessing ANZ Transactive Global for all your ANZ institutional banking products and services. The first upgrade in this journey is now complete and provides you with access to balance and transaction reporting, or BTR, in ANZ Transactive Global. Users with ANZ Cash Asia accounts can now log into ANZ Transactive Global using their existing log-on credentials to view account balance and transaction information. BTR in ANZ Transactive Cash Asia will be removed in the future, so it is important that you start to familiarise yourself with the enhanced functionality that ANZ Transactive Global provides. This session will be an introduction to the BTR capability within ANZ Transactive Global desktop site, including how to navigate the accounts menu, running reports, and setting up your workspace. Following today's webinar, I would encourage you to visit our Digital Services Help webpage for detailed information on the topics we discuss. I will show you how to find this at the end of today's session. You will see the Teams chat function is disabled for this session. However, you can ask questions using the Q&A tab, which is located at the top of the screen. My colleagues are online and will answer as many questions as possible as we go. Today's training session is being recorded, and a video and a copy of the question and answers, including any we're unable to answer during the session, will be published in ANZ Digital Services Help in the coming days, so you can rewatch or share with any colleagues who weren't able to join us live. And the last thing before we start, this session is being conducted using a training environment, which means that some of the screens, menus, and system behaviour may appear different to what you see in ANZ Transactive Global. So please keep that in mind as we go. For anything outside of ANZ Transactive Global, we will show screens from ANZ Digital Services Help. To begin the webinar, I would like to demonstrate how to log into ANZ Transactive Global. There are several ways to access the user login screen. However, we recommend logging in via anz.com and selecting Institutional from the top menu bar and then clicking the ANZ Transactive Global button under Login. From here, you can enter your user ID and password and follow the same steps as you would to log into ANZ Cash Asia. Let's now spend a couple of minutes on how to navigate ANZ Transactive Global. And for some of you, this may be the first time you have seen this. The ANZ Transactive Global main menu on the left-hand side shows a list of options. This is all menu options available, and your log-on may show less, and this will be based on the services your organisation has with ANZ, and will also vary depending on your role. This menu can be collapsed at any time by clicking on the icon in the application button. If you require the menu back again, click again and it will become visible. The dark blue strip across the top of the page, which is accessible from all screens within the application, is called the application banner. On the right-hand side, we have several features that I will now explain, starting with the notification centre. This is the little bell-shaped icon. This is equivalent to the announcements widget in Cash Asia. This is where you can access report downloads available from either ad hoc or a scheduled request, news, announcements and service notifications, new and enhanced ANZ applications, and training events and material for using ANZ applications. To read a notification, you can simply click on the message or click View. User settings icon. This displays as demo for me, but when you are logged in, this will display your user ID. Here, you can manage your application preferences, where you can set your notification requirements, define your homepage, and view the last 3 times you logged into the system. Let's take a look at the Settings and Preferences submenu. Here, you can set the date and time format and time zone. As I'm based in Perth, I'm going to change the time zone to Perth. You can also change how amounts are viewed with a comma or a period character. And I would also recommend adding a report retrieval code. This code will act as a password to access encrypted scheduled reports that is sent to your registered email address. This is your personal code and can be changed at any time. You can also set your preferred currency, which will show balances in that currency. And lastly, at the bottom of this menu, you will notice your registered email address. Please check this is correct to ensure the scheduled reports you create will be received. If your email address requires amending, please speak to your administrator. Click Save to save any changes made in this menu, and I will later show you how to schedule the report in a few moments. Notifications and alerts. This is where you can stay up to date with activities most relevant to you. This is where you can enable and disable credit and debit devices and other payment-related activities. To receive an email notification, switch the toggle to on for the topics that are relevant to you, and then save. Please note alerts are currently not available. Set the landing page, or the quick links widget as you will know it in Cash Asia. This sets any page you like as your landing page, which will display every time you log in. So for example, let's navigate away from this menu and select Accounts from the main menu, and then Operating Accounts. If I now click the User Settings, then set the landing page, this Accounts page will now be my landing page next time I log in. And the previous logins will now also display the last 3 times of your historical logins, as you can see on the screen. Moving on to the next icon in the application banner is Help. This is great if you require specific assistance in completing a task within ANZ Transactive Global. Clicking on this will open ANZ Digital Services Help in a new tab. Digital Services Help is an online self-service database of step-by-step guides, instructional videos, and frequently asked questions for our digital channels, including ANZ Transactive Global. The portal is broken into 3 segments: Search, Popular Topics, and Support categories, and I will now take you through each in a little more detail. The search function. Select the search function to search for a specific area of interest. For example, I can type accounts to quickly view detailed instructions for how to view and manage your accounts. I would also like to point out at the top of all of our articles, you will notice a geography field. This notes the regions that the article is applicable to. As you can see here, in this instance, this article is relevant to all geographies, excluding Japan and South Korea. Navigating back to the online help main menu, Popular Topics. Here you can view and easily access the most commonly read topics by you, our customers. Topics of interest here might be information relating to cybersecurity, ANZ Digital Key, and registering for an upcoming webinar. If I were to click on Register for a webinar, a list of webinars will display. Of these, I would recommend the Digital Services webinar. This will support you and your colleagues as you transition to ANZ Transactive Global with our security features. Recorded webinars are also available for you to watch or share with colleagues, and these can be found by clicking on Recorded Webinars from the menu on the left-hand side. As you can see, my screen is now showing a list of historical webinars. While all topics would be of value to you, the mobile webinar would be something I would recommend to support your transition to ANZ Transactive Global. Once again, navigating back to the online help homepage, the last segment in Digital Services Help is our support categories. This includes all topics covered in Digital Services Help. Simply click on a topic of interest and all related articles will be available for review. I would like to highlight the Upgrading from Cash Asia topic, which includes several articles to support your migration to ANZ Transactive Global. The BTR article in particular contains a comparison document to explain the differences in balance and transaction reporting for you. If at any time when using Transactive Global you are experiencing any difficulties, please refer to our ANZ Digital Service Status page, which provides up-to-date information about the operations of our institutional systems and services. You can access this page from Popular Topics or by selecting the menu option on the top left. Click on the Digital Service Status page hyperlink to show the current functionality of our systems, which is displayed using a traffic light type system. The next icon in the application banner is Contact. This can be used if you require additional assistance from ANZ. When you select your region and click on the Global Contacts box, a new tab will open that contains a list of ANZ's global customer service centres. Just wait for my screen to catch up. Perfect. So I would now like to take you through our operating account screen, which we access from the main menu on the left-hand side in ANZ Transactive Global. You will know this as the Accounts menu in Cash Asia. The operating account screen displays a list of registered operating accounts for your organisation. The list includes accounts based on your current user entitlements. You will notice the menu bar across the top. This is called the control bar. This contains buttons that allow you to quickly complete a range of functions on that specific screen. Starting with View. By clicking this, you can view accounts by status, being active or closed, an account saved to folders, or create and manage your folders. And I will explain folders in more detail shortly. Reports. This is a shortcut to quickly request an account statement report, a balance summary report, account summary report, or a daily balance report for one or more selected accounts. Actions. Once an account has been selected, from here you can quickly view account activity, balance summary, or add selected accounts to a folder. You can also choose a balance date to display account balances including today, yesterday, and the last business day, or a specific date. And Group. This reorders the data on the screen by a predefined criteria. For example, we can select currency, and then this will group all accounts by currency. If we select Filter, then enter criteria into one or more of the text boxes that are under each column heading, data will then display matching the request. For example, I'm looking for an account number that I know ends with 111. When I type this into the filter field above the account number, it will show me any accounts containing that number. Export enables the records on screen to be exported into a CSV file. And refresh. If I select refresh, the records on the screen are refreshed, including the balance information. And the settings button is used to save any changes I have made, including to view and group, and for next time I view this page. I would now like to show you how to create folders within ANZ Transactive Global. Folders help you organise items that you want to group together. You can then use the View menu to display the items in any folder. From the control bar, click View, then Create Folder. Enter a new folder name and click Add. If you have more than one folder, you can add, reorder, or remove folders. To add an item to the newly created folder, from the grid you can do one of two things. Right-click on the item and click Move To on the context menu. Or from the, sorry, I've just lost my page here. or select the item, right-click on Actions from the control bar and select Move To. Select the folder and the item will now be located in this folder. To navigate to the new folder, click on View from the control bar and you can select between different folders. Below the control bar is what we call a grid layer. You will find that grids are a common way ANZ Transactive Global displays information. All grids can be customised to suit your preferences and to help you organise and view relevant information and activity. As you can see here, there are many columns, and depending on your screen size, you may need to scroll across the page to view them all. If this order does not suit you, or some of the information is not relevant, then you can customise it. To hide or show columns, right-click any column heading and tick or untick the checkboxes next to the column name in the pop-up window. To customise the column order, right-click on the column you want to move and then drag and drop the column in your preferred order. To resize columns, simply click on the edge of the column heading and drag to your preferred size. To sort columns, click the column heading. The column will reorder in ascending order and click again to order in descending order. To fit columns to the size of the window, right-click and scroll down and click Fit Columns to Window. And to reset columns, you can right-click any column heading, scroll down and click Reset Grid Columns. Click Settings and then Save Settings to save your newly customised grid. And a little tip, if you right-click on any row, the context menu will display. And here you will find shortcuts to view additional information for that account, such as viewing the account activity, balance summary, or requesting a report, and adding an account to a folder. And the final section to highlight on this screen is the total available funds and total ledger balance in the bottom right-hand corner. As you can see, my balances are shown in AUD. In the settings menu earlier, we looked at how you can select the currency you wish to view these values. Let's now click on an account, and clicking on any account will open up the operating accounts details screen. You will know this is the account summary screen in CashAsia. This is where you can view additional information about the account. The screen header displays the account currency, account nickname, account number and status. You can also use the drop-down menu or the magnifying glass icon to search for and choose a different account to display. The table to the right provides the account summary based on the screen view, for example, today or yesterday or a previous week even, and labels interchange based on the view selected. This table also includes the total debit and total credit count. Just wait for my screen to catch up. Perfect. So underneath the account selector buttons are buttons to return to the operating account screen we were just on, as well as a shortcut button to request a report. And we will go through these later when we talk about account reports. So you will notice two tabs, account activity and balance summary. Let's explore these a little more. Starting with the account activity tab, we can see it has its own control bar. View will display by default today's transactions, which is updated in real time, so you always have the most current information. This can be changed by clicking the drop-down arrow and selecting from either one of the preset options or by choosing your own custom date or date range. From the actions option, if I wish to request a transaction details report, tick the checkbox for the desired transactions, select actions, and then request a transaction details. Complete the fields and select submit to generate. If you wish to group the data, within the tab, several predefined options are available, such as grouping transactions by value date. As you can see here, if we select this, transactions will be grouped together by value date. Filter works the same as the previous screen. Clicking filter, the filter fields will appear and I can type my search in the relevant columns. Export enables the records on the screen to be exported into a CSV file. And refresh is the same as the previous page. It will refresh the records on the screen. And the settings button is used to save any format changes I have made for next time I view this page. Let's now run through briefly the columns in the grid and their detail. So starting with post date. This is the date the transaction was posted to the account. Value date. This is the date the payment or collection date was made. Debit and credit columns show amounts in debit red or credits are shown in green to your account. Narrative will display a specific narrative to that transaction. And transaction type will indicate the type of transaction, including debit, credit, fee, check or payments, etc. BAI will display in the next column. Sorry, I think we must have moved that. SWIFT. Yeah. Bank reference is the transaction's bank reference. Customer reference is the customer's reference. And the SWIFT message will indicate if there is an inbound SWIFT message available for the transaction. To view the SWIFT message, select the transaction and the SWIFT message details will display. Moving on to the next tab, Balance Summary. This tab provides the daily balance summary for an account. Select a date or a date range from the View tab, and balances for this date will show. You can export the balance summary in as a CSV file also if you require this. And you can refresh the records on the screen, including the balance information. If we retrieve our main menu, you will notice a submenu called Transaction Search. Just wait for that to come back. From here, you can enter your search parameters, including account, amount, narrative, bank reference, date, or date range. And you can also save your search if required. Let's now look at the reporting that is available and how you can generate these. To demonstrate this, I will now use a different demonstration site. However, your live site will have this menu option. The Report Center allows you to set up, schedule, manage, and email report profiles. Schedule reports and download reports. In Cash Asia, this was known as the Reports menu. The Report Center is broken into 3 submenu items. Just wait for those to come back. So we have report profiles, scheduled reports, and download reports. And let's take a look at each in a little more detail. Report profiles. This replaces the View Reports menu in Cash Asia. This screen allows you to set up and manage multiple reports to suit your needs. Reports can be run on an ad hoc basis, scheduled to run a particular time, and saved for future use. To create a new report profile, simply click New. Your log on for now will only show balance and transaction reporting options. And the report types available will be shown in the next drop-down. The details of each report can be found in the comparison pack we looked at earlier. To run a report, choose the report type you wish to run. Today, I would like to run an account statement report. Select the format you would like to view the report. Select a language, and if required, select a report encoding. Give the report a name and a description. If you would like to schedule this report, tick the checkbox, add any filter information required, selecting the date or dates required. In the Schedule Information field, enter the schedule details for the report to be run at a particular date or time, and if you would like this sent to your registered email. By clicking this, an email will be sent to your registered email on the date you have selected, saving you logging in to retrieve this. Once complete, click Save, and this will now show in your list of report profiles. Scheduled reports. In Cash Asia, this would have been known as the Scheduled Definition List. This screen allows you to set up and manage reports that you would like to run or have emailed or have emailed to your registered email address, on a regular basis. You can click New from the screen to schedule a report, and the same screen will populate for completion. To edit or amend an existing report, select the report you wish to amend, and then you will notice the control bar at the top has several options available. We can edit or delete the schedule, or we can navigate to other scheduled reports by clicking Next or Previous Record. So today I'm going to click Edit, make the changes I need, and then click Save. Moving on to download reports. This was called Download Now in Cash Asia. This screen allows you to view all reports generated from an ad hoc request or that was scheduled for download. You can use the control bar options to search for reports and re-download also if required. I would now like to move on to the Applications menu. This menu provides you with a list of additional applications that you are entitled to access using a single user ID. As you can see here, ANZ Transactive Cash Asia is shown. From this menu, click on the Cash Asia tile, and this will open up Cash Asia in a new browser tab, and you will already be signed in. You will be required to complete any payment activities until such time as payments are enabled in ANZ Transactive Global, and this is how you will access Cash Asia to do this. The final feature today I will show you is setting up your workspace with some widgets. And you will notice on the right of the menu is an empty space. This is called ANZ Transactive Global Workspace. This screen, I'll just wait for my mouse. This screen is customizable, allowing you to choose and arrange content that suits your needs. To add content to your workspace, simply click Add to Workspace and select the thumbnail. Today, I'm going to add favourite accounts, which you will know as dashboard accounts in Cash Asia. Here, you can add up to 20 favourite accounts. I would also going to add the historical balances report, and this will show account balances for accounts that you are entitled to view. You can also choose the type of graph and up to 7 accounts to display. And favourite reports. You can add your most used report profiles to a favourite reports content window so you can easily run the report. And you can simply click Run this report profile to generate the report. Workspaces can be customised by dragging and dropping the widgets to your preferred location on the page. Resizing the content window by dragging the resize icon on the bottom of the content window. And refreshing the details by clicking on the refresh button on the right-hand side of the content window. You can also remove content by clicking on the X on the top right of the window, and also apply additional settings to adjust the widget to your preference by clicking on the settings icon. Additional workspaces can also be created, and you can have as many as you like by simply clicking on Create New and just enter the name. And the last thing to cover is logging off before closing your browser window. The log off icon can be found in the application banner in the top right-hand corner. And please note, after 15 minutes of inactivity, you'll be logged off automatically. Also a reminder that accounts are also available in our ANZ Transactive Global mobile app, where you can view your transactions. If you would like more information, please watch the webinar we referenced earlier in the Digital Services help pages. And that brings us to the end of our Accounts in Transactive Global training webinar. On the page I'm displaying is a list of upcoming webinars together with a QR code to register for the upcoming event. As I mentioned earlier, these will be beneficial to support you and your colleagues as you transition to ANZ Transactive Global. In the near future, we will release a payments webinar to support your transition of payments and payment flows to ANZ Transactive Global, and details will be covered soon. We have covered a lot in today's webinar, and a reminder that a recording of this session, as well as the question and answers, will be added to the Digital Services help in the coming days, should you wish to revisit anything or share with your colleagues. And you can get to ANZ Digital Services help by scanning the QR code on the screen or by clicking on the help icon next time you are logged into Transactive Global. I hope this session has been of value, and we look forward to you attending our future ANZ Transactive Global webinars. Thank you.